Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This finally started. I'm not sure it didn't start before this one, but eventually it started, and I thought that this little movement here would have started earlier than February. But hey, it's better later than never. So, this article comes from Sputnik. It is from today, the 12th of February 2023. And I'm quoting, Manifesto for Peace. Over 250,000 signed petition calling Germany to stop arming Ukraine. Well, many leaders, so-called leaders, elected officials to represent us, they say that when they get over there, or even bureaucrats, the ones that were appointed by elected officials, so they're just bureaucrats, they could be fired, nobody wanted them over there, but leaders who appointed them for whatever reason, thinking they're good, and sometimes they make this kind of statements. Well, I don't lead by whatever the mob wants, or something like this, And that reminds me that how people who agree with that, they say, oh my God, yeah, that's right. They don't care by what those guys are saying because they know better. Then those people, or some of them that I encounter, they don't like the electoral college in the US election system. I'm talking about the presidential electing method of electing a president, Jesus Christ. Which is the Electoral College. Now, as you know, Electoral College is a buffer that was intended to be a buffer between the mob, us, and the position of power, the elected official, and that would have been some elected, appointed part of something, a buffer that could always say, well, you can have this, but we can vote differently. Theoretically or legally, they can vote in a different way if they want. They can cast the vote against the one that the people actually voted for. Electoral college, just a buffer thing. So we have here bureaucrats, for instance, saying, you know what, I know better, so I will do whatever I want because I'm in the position of power. And you can't do anything about it. Or even a politician who was voted temporarily on that position. He said, well, I'm not going to rule based on whatever these guys want because I know better. Well, the whole purpose is you are over there because of them. It's true, those 250,000 people do not represent the majority, but you can't also discard them. If you don't believe me, you go outside and get 250 signatures. Okay? You open something and see how that's going to work. So it's not that easy, 250,000 adults. So let's see what's going on here. The authors of the petition suggested that negotiating does not mean surrendering, and that engaging in talks may help prevent hundreds of thousands of deaths. This is what I've been saying since the whole thing started on the 24th of February 2022, even though that could have been avoided in my assessment. 250,000 of people have signed an online petition urging German Chancellor Olaf Scholz to stop increasing the flow of weapons to Ukraine and to push for a peaceful resolution of the conflict instead. The petition started on change.org by German politician Sarah Wagenknecht. Oh my God, Wagen, that's auto or car. Wagenknecht. Okay, Wagenknecht. A journalist, Alice Schwarzer, accrued over 250,000 signatures about 2 days since its creation. Now that's a lot. The petition's authors argue that Ukraine is going to end up and I'm quoting, depopulated, devastated country. Well, the goal is not Ukraine. Russia is the prize. And, we're going to be allies as long as it takes. We're going to support as long as it takes. As the Russians said a few times, are you guys going to fight until there will be no more Ukrainian for us to blow up? That's what they say. Not with this word, but said you're going to fight until there's going to be no more Ukrainian to fight for you. I think that was Putin, no, Lavrov, I think Peskov. Soon, so all this will be that populated, devastated country. Soon, if the fighting there continues and insists that Kiev has no chance of prevailing against the, and I'm quoting, world's largest nuclear power, end quote. Now, I'm quoting, we call on the Chancellor to stop the escalation in arms deliveries now. He should lead a strong alliance for a ceasefire and peace negotiations at both German and European level, end quote. The petition states, now, because every lost day costs up to 1,000 more human lives and brings us closer to the Third World War, end quote. Well, what I would do first, I would ask the leaders of Germany to kick out foreign troops from your sovereign territory. I would start with that. And I would try to be more independent in Europe and in my foreign policy. How about that? And then once you have that, then obviously Macron can afford to do certain things. It is like, I can't remember how it was when I read it. It was in history. Something like Zelensky right now. Zelensky is surrounded by, I'm going to give you an example, by some, how do you call them, protective services, secret services, mercenaries, thugs, however you want, that protect him from being shot or protecting him from escaping somewhere. However you want to take it. These guys potentially are in charge of Zelensky. Each guy that surrounds Zelensky and has a little a magazine in its weapon, that guy has power over Zelensky at any moment. Any moment. Doesn't matter what happened with the guy. He can take care of Zelensky at any moment. So he depends on these people. So his life is on this. If one of these guys, today, okay, all right, boom. If one of these guys, wants to do something for some other people's interest, that can happen. So Zelensky will play around how, he can be really independent because these people might be his captures actually. When you have foreign troops on your territory, and you have nuclear weapons of a foreign country on your territory to protect you because you're a weasel and you can't protect, you don't have balls to protect yourself, then how do you want this guy to say, you know what, we don't want to do that anymore, huh? How do you think he's going to do that? I don't think he would dare. You can't do that with foreign troops on your country. Anyway, it's not only that, but it's a good start. I agree with that. The petition also notes that negotiations do not equal surrender. Rather, it means making compromise on both sides. End quote. Well, you talk reason here. It's not about reason here. In order to prevent hundreds of thousands more deaths and wars. That's reason and logic, but you don't talk with people that want to employ that. They have a goal and they will achieve it. And who stands in between them and the goal? They will make sure that that person is going to be pushed to the side, to find some very good euphemisms here. And I'm quoting, that's what we think too. And that's what half of the German population thinks, end quote. The petition's authors claim it's time to listen to us, end quote. Having tweeted that the Manifesto for Peace already has a core of 1 million supporters, Wagenknecht also called upon people to join a protest in Berlin on February 25. And I'm quoting, against armament deliveries and for peace and diplomacy. Not American diplomacy. I told you what they have in their diplomacy toolbox. Threats, blackmail, regime change, and bombardment or invasion to bring you freedom, democracy, love, happiness, and Hollywood. Now, this development comes as Germany is poised to send Leopard 2 main battle tanks, Anyway, commenting earlier this month on these impending tanks shipments, Russian President Vladimir Putin remarked that Russia is once again, and I'm quoting, being threatened with German tanks that have crossed into crosses painted on their sides, referring to the Nazi German tank armadas that were unleashed upon the Soviet Union during World War II. Well, he works with his symbolism. He works with his propaganda. It's a life and death situation here. So yes, he's going to employ images and try to bring pathos, not logos, into this. I mean, after all, what? He's supposed to fight Anyway, when I was reading my samurai, when I was, I don't know, about 18, 17, and I was practicing martial arts and all that, I was reading about some Kwans and some Buddhist teaching, Zen Buddhism. And in one of these stories, I can remember if it was Deshimaru, how is his name, the first name? Deshimaru, I can remember, that's the first name. Daishen Deshimaru, I don't know, I can't remember his first name. I think in one of his works that I was reading, Taisen Deshimaru. It's been thousands of years since I read that, and I was much younger. Anyway, so Taisen, I think Deshimaru, I still have it here. Shipped them here from the old country. So he said that he was asked, a master, a samurai, master, he was asked by a novice, a trainee, hey, master, if you fight with a thug, with a thief, how do you fight? Well, what are you going to fight? How? Because you have a code of the samurai. You have some kind of behavior. And the answer of the master was, with a thief you fight like a thief. With a samurai you fight like a samurai. So don't expect Putin to be and then end up like that, or maybe like Mussolini. Obviously, it's going to be whatever he is. That's war. War dehumanizes. And it's a threat for all of us. But it is there because we want things. And if we want things and we have the power and we have no restraints, there's no, anybody to see, hey, stop, wait, check and balance, then we want to do it because we have that tyrannical thing. It's just if we are allowed to use it. I mean, look even at the doves, the pigeons. Look at them when they fight. You think, oh, look at this pigeon, and they're vicious when they fight with their wings. I've seen a lot of pigeons. When I was a kid, I was raising pigeons, so I know. I observed them. So the same here. In situations, even the most calmer, even rabbits fight. Bunnies, who say, oh, cute, God damn it, you beat me, and so on. And not only that, but among themselves. They fight in a sissy way, if you know what I mean, but, like a weak way. But anyway, this is it. The petitions are over there. At least they're going to move at least in one direction. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of movements that we don't hear about, pro and con war. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.